Hello, Lake Jackson. I'm Gerald Roznovsky, your mayor, and this morning I'm sitting with our city secretary and assistant secretary. The city secretary is Rodgers, and our assistant city secretary is Sally Villarreal. And so today we're going to talk about is that this is National Municipal Clerk Week, and so we want to take this opportunity to introduce these two individuals that play a very important role in our city government. A lot of their work is behind the scenes, and so I just want to talk to them briefly about what they do, and so that, again, to inform you of what they do, and of also a little bit about the history that I've just learned about the role. So we'll start with Alice. And Alice, how long have you been in this role?
I've been in this role since '97, so I've been the city secretary for 24 years. I have to brag on this a little bit, I have been with the city for 35 years, but I've been city secretary for 24 years.
Okay. And then Sally, same thing. How long have you been in this role, and how long have you been with the city, of course?
I've been with the city for 9 years, and I've been in this role for 4.
Okay. Very good. So give us a little bit of background on what the city secretary's role is.
Well, our role is, I will say that the city secretary is one of the oldest professions in municipal government. As a matter of fact, the city secretary, or the town clerk, which sometimes we're called town clerks, sometimes we're called city secretaries. So if you look in your Bibles under Acts chapter 19, you will see that the city secretary is mentioned there, and in fact is called upon to calm down the citizens. So sometimes that is our role, to calm down citizens.
The phone calls you get, yes.
So it is an old profession. We are basically the historians of the city. We are the custodians of all permanent documents, and that is all minutes that are done, not just city council minutes, but any of our boards and commissions. We are custodians of all the ordinances, which are the laws that are enacted by city council for our city. We're responsible for resolutions, we're responsible for contracts, deeds, easements. We are also responsible for city elections. We are responsible for certifying off on alcoholic beverage licenses. We do a lot of everything. Yes, and city departments come to us quite frequently asking historical questions, asking us for copies of things. We're responsible for posting all agendas of all of the meetings. We're responsible for sending out notices for public hearings. And I'm taking up so much of the time talking that I feel like I should pass it to Sally.
You're fine.
I will say this, that in our role as city secretary, we are part of the Texas Municipal Clerks Association. And through that, we receive our certification. And in order to receive our certifications, it requires, I should have looked this up, I want to say it's almost 60 hours of work. That's homework, that's classroom material. Plus there are requirements of seminars that we have to attend, and each seminar is it 12 hours, Sally?
12, each seminar is 12 hours, a day and a half. You have to attend 8 seminars to receive your certification. You have the homework, you have to do 4 tests for different subjects.
For each course. There's 4 courses, and each course has 4 sections of it, and you're tested on each of those, and you have to pass those in order to receive your certification.
Yes.
So it's a grueling process that takes 2.5 to 3 years. Sometimes it takes people a little bit longer. And then you have to recertify every 5 years. So you have to kind of go through some of this again within a 5-year period. You have seminars you have to go to, you have coursework that you can either do coursework or book reports or anyway. So there's a lot involved in becoming certified.
And continue to be certified.
And continue to be certified. I have been certified 4 times now. And so Sally's on her first recertification. So Sally received her certification last January. Very proud of her. She did it very rapidly too.
So what was that process like when you went through that?
It was very interesting. You really learn a lot because they cover all subjects, and everything that our office deals with, public information, elections, all the different areas that we deal with. So you do the homework, you read the books. It's very interesting. You go to the seminars, you get to meet with other city secretaries
Right.
from all over the area. And actually some of the city secretaries are those speakers that we have that are very knowledgeable. And so they get up there and they, give us information and you ask questions. Very, very good training, very, very good training, very useful. And each time you go, you learn a little bit more.
Right.
You learn a little bit more, you pick up on stuff.
The other thing I like is, especially in municipal government, is I see a lot of opportunities for networking. So y'all talk about that. I know with city managers, they network, and all the other different professions, they network and stuff. And that's really the best way for us to learn from what's working well elsewhere, not reinventing the wheel type stuff. And I know you've brought several things back to the city for ways of changing some of the stuff that we do when it comes to your area of responsibility in the city. One thing I'm always amazed, you talked about documentation and stuff. I'm just amazed about the required amount of documentation. And then now you're in the process of digitizing all these old records that go back from the original days of the city. And some of this, you showed me before is some of the documents that we're digitizing are on, what is it, the old onion paper? Onion skin paper. And it's so delicate, it's kind of like going into the tombs of someplace, and finding these documents.
Exactly, and the age of these documents by now, really, I push to get them digitized because at their age, I think, when they're 70 years old, they should only be handled with cotton gloves.
Right.
And so, in
And they
order to
start
continue
fading.
to preserve that, and they fade. In
Right.
fact, some of the early minutes from 1943, you can barely read the type.
That's the old mimeograph machines.
Yes, yes,
Blueprint.
yes. I'm not old enough to know what that is.
Well, I do. I remember in school getting a freshly printed piece of paper, and you'd smell it.
And the smell, it
Smell it.
smelled so good.
Yeah. Hoping you cleared your mind a little bit before you had a test and stuff. But
It did.
yeah. So Sallie, what's it's again being in that role and taking the training and certification is a considerable time commitment, family wise and stuff like that. So, how does your family feel about the time commitment that you have to put into the city?
Oh, they're good with it. My husband was very helpful with when it came time to studying tests. He would studying for a test. He'd help me study.
Yeah.
He'd ask me some questions, and we'd sit there and go through the books. But they're understanding of the commitment that it takes. The meetings and the evenings and the training that's involved. So I have a great support system that has helped me through it.
I remember it's been several years ago now. It was one of the first times in a long time that you ended up having to fill in for Alice for a council meeting. And it just happened to be a very heated council meeting. And afterwards, I actually came up to you and I apologized to you about, this isn't normal for us. We're normally not this heated. But it was a difficult subject. And, we have to discuss those items, and everybody has to have a chance to be heard. And so sometimes it gets a little heated, but that's all along with the process and stuff. And so real quickly, what do you find most interesting about the role that you're in?
I guess it's learning. There's always something to learn.
Right.
And for me, I pick up on stuff, just learning about city government. Just all of it, just recently, we did the elections, and every time that we do something different, every election you learn a little bit more, and there's just an endless amount of stuff that we do, so there's a lot, just dealing with people. I've always dealt with work in the public, so I enjoy helping people and answering questions when I can. And
yeah, well, that's key. Again, in the role, y'all touch just about every part of the local government and stuff like that. So y'all are a good resource to answer some of those questions, those initial questions. At the same time, y'all know who to send them to for the right answers and stuff like that. So again, I think it's a very key role, and I appreciate all the effort that you guys put into it. And dedication, that's what it boils down to. And, dedication also goes along with, what happens in our city. And I found a long time ago when I started in council is that not only is there dedication, but just seeing the passion of the city staff, the passion they have and the love they have for this city and how they want this city to be successful.
Mhm.
So real quick, Alice, what do you find most interesting about your role?
It's different every day. And I think that's true. And you know, I love the history of Lake Jackson, and I love being able to, if a citizen or a coworker comes to me and says, where do I get this? How do I do this? Who do I contact? I love being able to help them.
Yeah.
I love being able to know, or to know who knows the answer to that. So
Yeah.
interesting, over the years, I've worked with a lot of different city councils, and I've worked with, now I'm on my third city manager. Wow, I haven't said that before. I'm on my third city manager, so, I just think it's very interesting in how the city works, and I wish people were more involved
Right.
in their local government, because I don't think they really understand how municipal government works. A lot of them do.
Right.
But our city council meetings are open. Here's my plug. Our city council meetings are open to the public.
All our workshops.
All of our workshops, everything is open to the public. If you want to know how city government works, please come to a city council meeting. They're open.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate both of y'all very much.
Thank you.
And hope y'all stay with us for a very long period of time. Again, it's National Municipal Clerk Week. And so, again, reach out and would say hug, but at least reach out and say hi. And give these ladies a call and just tell them how much you appreciate them. Thank you very much.